Turn it up, Jado.
And what's up, everybody? Merry Christmas to you, and I hope it was as enjoyable as it has been for me and my family, wherever you are. TARRERDOME here with a little something different. I'm doing a little bit of a pre-recording, and I'm going to edit it, chop it up, be real quick on what I see as the Bears scouting report. Let's move along real here. And what I see here, as far as the Bears are concerned, we're about to play them Sunday night. Their opportunistic defense, they have invested well in their offensive line. I really like some of the key moves they've made, like with bringing in Dahlman, who was a free agent. I really kind of wanted him for ourselves. A little bit of petty jealousy here, but nonetheless, Caleb Williams buys time to throw. A little bit more, I'm going to go in depth with that, but that's primarily how he does it. I think he's got some what we call rookie residue on him. And you'll see in a little bit of my clips here why I say that. Their running back, DeAndre Swift, is a pretty decent running back, but I don't think to the caliber of what we faced last week with Jonathan Taylor. Our keys to winning is protect the football at all costs. No turnovers. Don't turn this rock over. If it looks like it's going to be a fumble or it looks like you're going into traffic, our running backs and wide receivers and quarterback, go ahead and tuck that ball away. Just don't give them any unnecessary chances or possessions. The average possession rate for a team in the National Football League per game is about 12.5, 12 and a half possessions you'll have. It really flips the script when you lose a possession and give them an extra one. And the Chicago Bears have been living by this instance, as fact is that they actually lead the league in turnovers with a plus 21 ratio, as well as they have 21 interceptions, and they're second in takeaways as far as fumbles are concerned. And we're going to clip it up a little bit and show you just why. Also, let's run the ball. You can run on them. They have some stout defenders in the middle of the field, that being in the way of Edmonds, their linebacker, Tremaine. He's a Virginia Tech Hokie, so I'm always going to kind of side to the, you know, how I feel about Virginia guys, as well as they got some thick guys up front. Andrew Billings, who's short but stout like a fire hydrant. I think he's going 6'1", and that looked about a biscuit shy of 350. I'm, just with my keen sense of how I judge a guy looking at his stature and just how the legs is big and thick, I about 350. It's a 347, but I know 350 when I see it. He got some decent linebackers in there thick, but I think we can run off tackle, and I think our zone read will be very, very key and pivotal here. Contain Williams in the pocket. Let's make him play quarterback. When I look at him on film, it looks like he still has what's called rookie residue. And what I say by that, in college, a guy's open when you see him open. He, has to have a step or two, and you feel confident I can get this in there. Now, Williams is careful with the ball. He doesn't turn it over much, but he just doesn't have the instinctive faith of the substance hope for the things not seen. He doesn't see it yet to where you have the visual in your mind that this guy is going to break, and I just can put it on there when my foot hits the backstop, and I know he's going to run it. Brock Purdy is superb on that. He really throws it by faith, which most seasoned quarterbacks do. It takes them 2-3 years to feel comfortable with that, because in college you had superior athletes at wide receiver, and you could tell they were open because they looked open. They were beating 3-star and 2-star corners. In the NFL, that thing ain't open until you can throw him open, and he lacks a little bit of that. That's why he bails out, and he prolongs the down, and he tries to make big splash plays down there. That's what I see so far from him. As far as the overall thing here, the head coach is Ben Johnson, coming over from Detroit. He was the most ballyhooed commodity that there was as far as coaching is concerned. A couple of notable things here. Dennis Allen came over from the New Orleans Saints, as well as their special teams coach, you might notice, was Richard Hightower, who used to be with us, and well, he went for greener pastures, and we ain't gonna say nothing else about that. As far as the running backs coach, I saw a familiar name. Eric Bieniemy is their running back coach. He's a pretty good coach. He was most notable for, being with the Kansas City Chiefs. Also, he coached Adrian Peterson. Also, wide receiver Antoine Randall L., who used to play for the Steelers. He's their wide receiver coach. So they got a good staff over there. I have to admit. One thing that jumped out to me is looking back at their schedule. They made a lot of money on beating teams that, shall we say, a little bit less than playoff caliber. Is that a nice way of saying it? Y'all can check me on the judges. I think I said that politically correct. People like the Dallas Cowboys, the Raiders, the Commanders, the New Orleans Saints, the Bengals, the Giants, the Vikings. They had some wins against them where they came back, made a couple of splash plays, and won. But are we really talking about high caliber teams here? Just saying, I'll move on. As I said before, they're plus 21 in the turnover ratio. One of the significant things about the prediction of a game, the first metrics that you weigh heavy on is the quarterback. The very second, turnovers. If you can get more turnovers, if you can give yourself chances, if you can take away and nullify points and or possessions of the other team, it's always going to bode you well. That's how the NFL looks at it, and that's how it always is. Of course, their leading passer is Caleb Williams at 3,400. Their leading rusher is their running back, DeAndre Swift. He's just shy, 7 yards shy of 1,000-yard season. He's having a pretty productive time. As far as receiving yards, Dunze is their guy, but he is actually questionable. He may play, he may not. We don't really know yet. On the other side of the fence here, we're looking at their leading tackler as being my man, as the previously mentioned Tremaine Edmonds, coming over from Buffalo by way of Virginia Tech University, and they're opportunistic. They have a safety with 6 interceptions. He's back there. His name is Bayard, number 31, Kevin Byard. If he's lurking, let's let's go opposite him. I also noticed some other stuff in terms of the stats, man. They got a couple of really key and pivotal people who really get down and have impressed me just by on the field. I see some good things happening with them. I see their movement mainly being number 9, Jaquan Brisker. I really like how he moves and he's always around the board. And they have a cornerback who's very opportunistic, Noshawn Wright, number 26. He's going to be on one side of the field. He's probably going to be covering our number 1 receiver, which will probably be Ricky Pearsall. I think Ricky will be back for this game, but nonetheless, he undercuts and he plays with a little bit of reckless abandon. Why? Because he has number 31 behind them, Kevin Byard, and he can play a little bit more freer. In the nickel, they'll drop down and get our old nemesis, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who used to play with Philadelphia. He will come in nickel. They'll take the big guy out, and they get around the ball. I have to say that. They get around the ball and they try to make the most of it. Montez Sweat is their leading sacker. He's formidable. Montez Sweat is wearing number 98 right now. I think he was something else in Washington, but they made that trade about 2 years ago. The same time might have been 3. Just before we got Chase, what's his name? Chase Young, they went out and got Montez Sweat. And, he's stepping into the role as their premier pass rusher and their premier sacker. They will hurry you. They get around the ball. Again, I like a swarming defense, and they execute that pretty good. But, ain't a horse that can't be rode and a cowboy that can't be throwed. Block them, and we will have success. Get into a little bit of film here. Let's look at them against last week. They played the Green Bay Packers in a very interesting game. I liked it. It went down to the last minute. It went to overtime, as a matter of fact. Just looking at how they react and how they get to the ball. This was the opening drive here. And do you notice? Look at how many of those Bears are around that ball. All that attention is going to that ball. All that attention going to the ball. And like I said, when you swarm on defense, good things happen for you. You get those turnovers. You get those things that come into play there. You get the gang tackle. You just ensure more of an opportunity of you getting the ball. When you gang tackle, one strips, one hold them up. It's nothing against mugging somebody. There is no law against more people getting around the ball. And as you see right here, just plenty of them all around the ball, all focusing around the ball. If we just make it to pure numbers, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys, 8, 9 guys around the ball, as opposed to 1 right there. The numbers will bear out. The numbers are totally in your favor. If it's 9-1, you got a 90% chance of coming away with it versus that 10%. You know what I mean? So they're opportunistic in that way. And just really I don't think that was actually called a fumble, but they, this is symptomatic of what they do. Back to pass on the rollout. Lots of hands everywhere. They get around the ball. They just get around the ball. They fly around the ball. That is the staple of the The defense and pretty much their calling card. They're looking to intercept. They're looking to gang tackle. They're looking to create turnovers. Hustling to the ball, just hustling to the ball, getting hats around the ball. This is what they do. And, this is the formula for making it happen. And what happens when you are aggressive and get hats around the ball? I tell you, people start making mistakes. Look at this one. As you notice here, what jumped out to me immediately was the fact that this isn't Jordan Love anymore. This is Malik Willis, because they've been aggressive and knocked Jordan out of the game. Now you got a center quarterback exchange, and that's a little muffed up because they're not used to being around each other. And all of a sudden, look at what you got. Ball on the ground, the church money on the ground, and the pastor don't like it. Things begin to happen. And this is how they become opportunistic. That's our big boy number 97 again. I told y'all about him, Andrew Billings. You got Grady Jarrett up in there, Andrew Billings. They just like to run stuff runs. They like to push the pocket and stuff runs. Let's look at that quarterback a bit. This is Caleb Williams, and this is what I mean by having a little bit of rookie residue on you. As you notice, he'll get the ball, and you're supposed to just get to your drop, find your guy, fire that thing in. Again, having faith, the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things unseen. You see, he's dropping back, bam, back foot hits. You should have been letting that thing go here, or having the anticipation with him running, throwing it out here. Maybe even dumping it on over to here, if you didn't feel your 1, 2, or 3 were open. But it's NFL open, and then there's college open. These guys aren't college open. These guys are NFL. You got to throw them open. So what does he do? He bails out. He prolongs the down. Gets a little bit more from that. He makes splash plays on bailing out, prolonging it down. People unplaster, and boom, these are how your splash plays are made. This is how he's making his living. Now, he is a 57% passer, 57%, which is far below the Fibonacci, or what I consider a successful guy. You see how he's got to be like wide open for him to throw it. It's like it can't be anybody else around. He doesn't feel comfortable yet with somebody not being a little bit open, or him having to throw it open. If he's wide open, he will take the shot, but usually he doesn't like it. His if they are covered any, so the onus will be on our corners to cover early in the down. And show up. Robert Saleh, I'm sure, is looking at it this way. You see how he bounces around when his back foot hits. Let's go back. Watch. He doesn't quite trust it. That ball's supposed to be a hitch and maybe out. All right. Of course, they were on 4 verticals and a check down, but you're supposed to already know. You ain't supposed to be dancing and tapping around or something. You probably should have been out here, but nonetheless, he'll dance around, and he's got to look open to him. He's got to be like wide open to him. And I could see some of the frustration in his receivers as he was going through the night. And as I look back subsequently to a lot of other games, they show, receivers will show you their emotions. They will show you their emotions. You ain't gotta ask them. They'll just show it. And that was clearly on a receiver right there, man. If he hits you, you got to make the catch. But I'm just noticing a reoccurring theme with him. That back foot will hit. That wasn't a bad pass at all. That was nice. He shows flashes of what he's going to be, but he's just not quite there yet. He's just not quite there yet. And he's in a pretty good offense with Stefanski. See how he bounces around, and then he's going to just throw it on out there. He's careful with it, but just doesn't throw with the anticipation quite yet. Like right there, you got to know I'm going here with it. I'm going there with it. I'm gonna throw him open over here. I'm gonna hit him on the comeback. I'm gonna, show me something. But he'll bounce around a little bit, prolong the down, and it's some people will call it backyard football. I call it just prolonging the down, and the onus will be on us to plaster as well as getting to him. Let's get to him. Let's keep contained. Let's keep contained so he doesn't bail out. Another thing I noticed on his chart, he likes to throw to the right, his right, a great deal. He likes to throw to the right, and I can, justify it with a little bit of factual data. Now, as you see, Caleb Williams, just looking at his chart of like the last 8 games that he's had, maybe I skipped 1 or 2 in there, but just look at his completions as opposed to attempts. They're not of the highest of caliber, but what I noticed was just a reoccurring theme. Look to the right of all of his games. Look to the right. 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 That's where the majority of his passes go. Most are pretty much completions within 10, 15 yards, some even behind the line of scrimmage. So he's just he tries to high percentage it, and he usually stays to the right. When he goes left on that last game against the Green Bay Packers, he actually went to the left at a lot of curls. Hank is just that tight end, releasing a little late, turn around and do it. We used to call it a button hook back in the day. So that's going to be the onus will be on our Sam linebacker, which is D Winters, who had an excellent pick last. Shout out D Winters for that excellent pick last year. He had shades of Navarro Bowman. Be ready because he's going to utilize his tight end quite a bit. Colston Loveland, number 84. He's going to be looking for him. That's a quarterback's best friend, and he's going to take no shorts at utilizing that. My final predictions, as I look at it, I see us being at least a touchdown better than this team, given we protect the ball and be methodical, be systematic, and be almost resolute in the fact that we protect it as well as execute our plan. Our offensive line is on the uptrend, I have to say. Trent Williams, the last couple of weeks, Trent Williams has looked like vintage 2012 Trent, and I just absolutely love it and adore it. Our defense has just got to come and play ball. Let's get a couple of sacks. Let's keep him in the pocket. Let him make decisions. And when he bails, he's going to try to just break contain. So be there, be ready for it. Again, all I can tell you is I see good things happening. Let's get this win. Let's continue on our journey of being the upstart surprise, come out of nowhere kids. It's been a pleasure. TARRERDOME here. I'm going to release this in a little bit. I hope you enjoyed it. That's my take on the scouting of the Chicago Bears. I didn't want to be too, I don't know, over, confident on it, but I see a team with some good things about it. I hope I was liberal in my way that I gave them praise, but I do see opportunities there, given the fact we just have to play San Francisco ball. For all your entertainment, remember, TARRERDOME is here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We walk by faith and not by sight. In Jesus' name, amen. See y'all again soon.